Welcome to Art Entertainment. Please like and subscribe. Hi guys, welcome to Art Entertainment. Just wanted to go over what happened this morning at the Baltimore Bridge. It collapsed at about 1 o'clock in the morning. It was about 8 construction workers on there and about 8 cars they're saying. And I just want to show y'all exactly what happened. So watch this really quick. This is the bridge. As you can see, the boat loses power. The boat actually collapsed with this bridge. In a second, you guys are going to see that. It recovers and gains power. Starts to smoking. The boat starts to smoking. They tried to regain power, but it was too late. You can see that the boat collapsed with the bridge at this point. This is sad. I'm praying for the families of the victims. They have yet to find them. But I'm going to let y'all watch this news article in a second talking about the bridge.
People rely on it every single morning. And Michael, to put this also into perspective, it is the entryway to a major shipping channel that controls the entire country. It supplies everything from cars to sugar to manufacturing equipment across our country.
Yeah, I-695, the
Yes.
bridge is part of that as well. And our team is covering every angle of this breaking news from Baltimore to Washington. Our senior national correspondent, Terry Moran, starts us off. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Michael. There it is. As the light comes up with the sun, you can see it. That's what's left of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, broken off, jutting into the sky. Some of the steel trusses tangled that once held it up in the water beside it. And this happened, as you say, overnight, around 1:30 in the morning. That 948-foot-long ship, the Dolly, flagged in Singapore, somehow colliding with one of the pillars of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, this major artery for the people of Baltimore, and as you mentioned, a commercial artery for the 9th largest port in the country. Right now, we are awaiting a press conference, but it is what happened to this bridge that has affected the city and the country. This video shows the moment the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore collapsed after being struck by a 900-foot-long cargo ship around 1:30 a.m. this morning.
We advise the entire bridge, the entire Key Bridge is in the harbor. I advise to hold all traffic from coming to the bridge.
The fire department described the collapse as a mass casualty incident.
There's cops everywhere, and there's police all up and down the bridge.
While it's not known exactly how many people or vehicles were on the bridge, initial emergency calls mentioned several construction workers who were working on the bridge.
8 construction workers were on the bridge, according to the construction worker. We have one. There's 7 unaccounted for. He said there was a dump truck, a pickup truck, a large truck, and a Nissan car that he knew of that was on the bridge at the time of collapse.
This continues to be a search and rescue operation. It continues to be a very dynamic operation with multiple local, state, and federal resources involved.
Witnesses have described the steel in the water forming a blockade around Baltimore Harbor, the 9th largest port in the United States. Tens of thousands of people traverse this part of Interstate 695 every day. Last year, more than 12 million cars crossed over the 4-lane bridge, which opened in 1977 and extended over the Patapsco River. Synergy Marine Corps is the company that owns that ship, the Dolly. They have reported that all of their crew members and pilots on board that ship are safe, but rescue efforts continue for those lost when that bridge went down. Rebecca?
All right. Thank you, Terry. Michael?
All right, thank you. Baltimore's Mayor Brandon Scott is on the phone with us right now. And Mayor Scott, thank you so much for joining us. What we know is a very hectic morning for you. And we're just going to get right to it. What do we know right now?
Well, we know this is still an active search and rescue. We know that there were individuals on that bridge when this tragedy happened. We have our fire teams, our marine teams, our police marine teams out there. And now with the sunlight coming up, we can actually put divers into the water to try to save souls. And that's where the focus is and will remain for us for quite some time.
And we know that the rescue efforts, as you said, are underway. But what do we know about the conditions that the rescue teams are dealing with?
Well, listen, it's very cold waters. We're dealing with, obviously, the tide coming in. So this is very windy. So we understand that this is not a easy operation for them. They can dive and will do in this water, but this is not something where this is going to be a quick and easy thing. This is going to be an ongoing search and rescue, and they will be doing that work to make sure that we can save every soul possible.
Yeah, there's still a search and rescue mission. And this bridge, it's a part of an interstate highway, Interstate 695. What do we know about the rescue effort and all the volume of traffic that would have been on the bridge at this time of the collapse?
Yeah, listen, this didn't happen during rush hour, but we know that there were vehicles on there. As you heard from my fire chief during our press conference that we just did, we have sonar and know that vehicles were on the bridge. We still don't know exactly how many. We'll be getting that, obviously, as our divers and folks are able to go into the water as a part of the search and rescue. But there were individuals and vehicles on the bridge at the time of the collapse and the accident, and we really, really want everyone, not just here in Baltimore, but all of America, to pray for them.
Yeah, without a doubt there, Mayor Scott. And what do we know about the history of this cargo ship?
Not much. We know that, listen, we are one of the largest ports in the country. We know that ships come in and out of here every single day. And this, unfortunately, this unspeakable tragedy happened. We're grateful that the folks that are on the cargo ship are doing well, but there are others who we are still searching for, and that's, again, where our focus is.
Yeah, unspeakable tragedy is right. And there are reports that there were construction workers on the bridge at the time that it collapsed. What kind of work was being done to the bridge?
Well, listen, this is a bridge that we are always doing work. It could have been a concrete work. They're always doing that big work with the partners at the Maryland Department of Transportation. But really, right now, we know that folks are on that bridge, Michael. We know that they are in the water, and we know that we are searching for them. Everything else, we will solve out and settle out as the time moves forward. But right now, we have to be focused on saving lives.
That we know that you are focused on saving lives and putting all the effort that needs to be put into that. Mayor Brandon Scott, thank you so much for joining us on, as we said earlier, a very, very tough and hectic morning.
A tough and hectic morning, and an incident that occurred around 1:35 a.m. Eastern time. Now that sunlight is coming up, and Elizabeth Schulze is there on the scene for us. And Elizabeth, what can you tell us about what's happening from your vantage point? We see it there behind you.
Hey, good morning, Rebecca. And you heard the mayor there say this is an active search and rescue effort, and you can really get a sense of the scale of this mission from our vantage point. What you're looking at is what's left standing of the Key Bridge. You can see there the cargo ship completely surrounded by the bridge that's collapsed, the bridge cut off completely as you head east out of Baltimore. You can also see the intense presence of the U.S. Coast Guard and state police. The weather here has been a challenge. It was dark up until a couple of minutes ago. Temperatures are frigid, and we heard police say that this is a massive area that they are searching. The tide is coming in. That will pose an additional challenge. They're searching below the water, on the surface. Sonar activity, they say, has detected the presence of some vehicles underwater. And I will say, guys, I did just speak with a neighbor here who said that she heard the bridge collapse around 1:30 a.m. She told me it sounded like a plane was landing in her backyard. Lindsay.
And we do know, Elizabeth, that search and rescue is paramount at this hour. Our thanks to you. And now we want to turn to our senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang. Selena, obviously the White House is closely monitoring the situation.
Lindsay, that's exactly right. The White House says they are closely watching the situation that led to this bridge collapse. And if an official tells me this morning that there is no indication of any nefarious intent. We also know that senior White House officials are in touch with the governor and mayor to reach out for any federal assistance that they may need. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, he's also been in touch with them. And also, as we've been talking about, U.S. officials reiterating that the Coast Guard is currently conducting that search and rescue operation. The White House also says that their hearts go out to all of the families of those who still remain missing as a result of this horrific incident. Michael?
Thank you, Selena. Our Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas is joining us now with more on the urgent law enforcement response. Pierre, good morning.
Michael, it's an extraordinary situation, so it's all hands on deck. We're told that the FBI is on the scene. The preliminary information is pointing to an accident, according to our sources, but they cannot take any chances, so the FBI will be conducting a background check on the captain and crew to make sure they they understand everything there is to know about where they came from, what their activities are, because they cannot leave anything to chance until they know for certain that this was, in fact, an accident.
Need to get all the answers to the questions. All right, thank you, Pierre. And let's bring in our transportation correspondent, Gio Benitez. And Gio, as we said, this major bridge, it's critical to the city of Baltimore.
Well, more than 12 million cars travel on this bridge. At least that's what happened in 2023. So you're talking about a massive amount of travelers going over this bridge. It's a very, very popular bridge, a very, very popular waterway. We see how large that waterway is, leading right through to the port of Baltimore, which is the sixth largest in the country. So it is a major, major bridge. And right now, one of the...
Please subscribe to my channels if you guys want any more updates on this situation, because I will be on top of it as soon as they start naming victims. And again, my thoughts and prayers go out to these families that they probably don't even know that their family member is missing at this point. This happened at 1 o'clock in the morning. So tell me your thoughts.